Okay, so I am a lover of football, point blank. I can't explain it, but it's more than just the fine ass men running around full of adrenaline. I mean, they're screaming, they're pouncing, they're glistening in those brilliant uniforms, hugging them in all the right places. Yes, these are all the reasons why I love football. However, I do thoroughly enjoy the strategy behind the game. How there are so many different plays, how one play in the last 2 seconds of a game can really change the entire outcome of the last 2 hours. It really is amazing when you think about it. And I love watching the on-the-spot split decisions, sometimes called audibles, which is a football term. We'll get to that. My heart races when I'm watching my team on the field. The moment that they come out of the tunnel and onto the field, we become one. That is my team. It's like I'm out there playing. And throughout the game, I'm standing up, I'm sitting down, I'm sometimes yelling, sometimes I'm cussing at the screen, to be honest. And let's be real, I've cried tears of happiness, and I've also, unfortunately, cried too many tears of sadness on many occasions. Damn you, Super Bowl 2023. Sigh. I digress. Now, as an avid football fan, I've watched countless games, and I've also, which we'll get into a little bit later, may have dated a few NFL players in my 20s and in my college years. And I've had a few sweethearts who were fighting their way through D1 and D2, that's Division 1 and Division 2 placement teams or placements on teams. Now, how does this all relate to dating, though? Well, I'm single. I'm living in a booming metropolitan city full of what I call dating ADHD. I live in Los Angeles, and it's literally like Super Bowl 24/7. It's literally a party. The amount of options, the seemingly limitless and nonstop swiping that happens in this big city, the dating apps. Jesus, the dating apps. Dear Lord. After 10 years of being a divorced mother of 2 teenagers, now they're teenagers, I've come to learn my way around the dating field. And sisters, let me tell you, it is very similar to the game of football. You may not know it yet, but you'll get to learn this through this podcast. The strategies that are at work, the overabundance of players. Sometimes they're players and players. Some full of talent and some who just need to go ahead and retire. They just need to give it up. LA has it all. So I decided to document some lessons from my dating journey and create this playbook series for all of you, my fellow ladies. We're all in this together. We're one team. Now I've done the work, so maybe you don't have to. I mean, of course, by now you probably have been through your share of dating experiences as well, which is why the title of this podcast and book is so intriguing to you. But come on, let's huddle up and let's all decide to do better. Can we do that? Can we huddle up and say we're going to do better? All right, let's do better together. We are all in this game. It's all about how you strategize, how we strategize, and we go for the win. All right, so let's get to it. Come on, ladies, huddle up, huddle up. We got this. This is my pep talk here. We got this. And when I count to 3, we're all going to say, game on, bitches. All right, we could just say game on. 1, 2, 3. Game on.
Number 1, Olsen on the carry, picks up a yard, brings up 3rd down and goal.
Okay, so let's jump in. Technically, right now, we are in preseason. And before any player steps onto the field, they are prepped, primed, and prepared for the game ahead. Now, this episode is getting you, the woman, ready for the big game. And so we'll talk about the self-care that is needed to get you primed and ready. So we'll walk through some spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical exercises that you can do to make sure you're up for what lies ahead. Again, you said you were ready, so game on. Now, the game begins in your head first. There are so many studies done about visualization and how the world's greatest athletes go through practices of visualizing before they get into the game. NFL star Richard Sherman, number 25 of the Seattle Seahawks, has credited the practice of visualizing as a key to his success. Even though he has played countless football games and is used to performing under pressure, it is this mental health practice that sets him up for his games. And this man has been to 2 Super Bowls, so he might be onto something here. Now, here's his technique. Before every game, he takes a few moments to get into a clear mindset and to think about what he would like to accomplish on the field. Getting even more specific, he thinks about his past success moments. In an interview with CNBC, Sherman shared that, yes, he's had some really great games before. He's made some great plays, and I've watched him. The man is a beast on the field. And he's done some things that he wants to replicate and do again. So he thinks about these moments. He recreates the plays in his mind. He remembers how it felt in those moments. And he does this especially when he is feeling some bouts of self doubt. Richard Sherman is a believer that visualization creates reality. Whatever he wants, whatever he needs, he has the ability to envision it and have it. And Richard Sherman isn't the only Seahawk doing this work. In fact, the entire Seattle Seahawks team regularly does visualizing practice during their training camps. Aaron Rodgers, quarterback for Green Bay Packers, has mentioned in interviews that in the sixth grade, a coach taught him about the importance of visualizing. Now, when he's in a meeting or if he's watching a film or in bed before he goes to sleep, he visualizes making plays. In fact, he said that he has visualized the majority of plays before he has even made them on the field. Come on, he's on to something. Another great that's in the game. Visualizing is one thing that separates elite athletes from lower level athletes. And it's what can elevate you as an elite woman in the dating game. Now, the techniques don't have to be a cookie cut way of doing this work, but there are 4 key elements that you need to consider. All right, let's get started. Number 1. Get into your mind what you want to achieve with your dating life. Are you looking forward to getting out onto the field again? Having meaningful, passionate, exciting date nights, is that what you want? Maybe a few date nights a week. I mean, this could be your goal. Or maybe you're done with recruiting season. You're ready to find your star player. So you would want to visualize yourself in a committed relationship. Get in your mind what it is you want to experience. Okay, I'm going to give you a second. Do you have that? All right. Now, here's the key element number 2. Find 7 minutes of alone time. Now, this can be in the morning when you first wake up. It can also be right before you go to bed. But I want you to find dedicated time to do this next step. Find a comfortable space where you will not be disturbed for 7 minutes. We can do 7 minutes. I think we could do 7 minutes. Get your body comfortable. Now, this can be in a seated position with your feet on the ground, or it can be laying down with a bunch of pillows stacked behind you. Whatever makes you comfortable. Remember, you're going to be in this position for 7 minutes, so get comfortable. All right. Now, once you're doing this work and once you are comfortable, the third element comes into play. I want you to set a timer, and you can use your phone. Go ahead and do that. Start by focusing on your breath. I want you to take a moment to breathe even a little deeper than you would normally do. And I want you to do this for about a minute. Breathe into your belly through your nose. As this triggers a relaxation response, it opens your mind to its power. Now, when you're doing this, closing your eyes is optional. Again, I want you to be comfortable and do what is best for you. All right. Now, once you're settled, here's the good stuff. Start visualizing. Direct your thinking and your focus to the act of experiencing the dating life or relationship you desire. Once you're in this position and once you've done your breathing and once you're ready, I want you to spend 5 minutes mentally experiencing the dating life or relationship of your dreams. What are you wearing on these dates? What does it feel like when you're getting ready to head out the door? When you arrive at the restaurant or the bar or the lounge, how do you feel? How does your partner look at you? Does he or she hold your hand? Are they smiling at you? Are you both laughing? Is there a lot of conversation? Is it meaningful? Is it passion and chemistry? I want you to visualize these things. Now, if you're past all of these dating stages and you're looking for true commitment, you're ready to lock it down, visualize your person holding your hand, making you feel secure. What does that feel like? Being in a committed relationship with your partner, what does that feel like? What do you do together that lights up your life? And if you're really, really maybe a little further along than all of this, honey, go ahead and visualize that ring on your finger. Yes, this is your visualization. Do it. What does that rock look like? Is it a princess cut? Is it pear shaped? Is it gold band, a platinum band? Live it out fully in your mind and visualize it. And that is step 4. That is the practice. Your position in your dating life is critical to how and what you are visualizing. Only you know your unique place on the field and what you want to experience in your upcoming relationships. Listen, we're all at different spaces in our lives and we want different things, including different people to date. Now, let's take a look back into the game of football for a moment and how different visualizations work for different positions on the field. Quarterbacks tend to mentally practice their footwork for every type of situation imaginable. Now, listen, if they're in the clutch and they need to throw that ball far, that footwork will look very different than if the team is very close to a touchdown and the quarterback may have to run with the football instead of throwing it to a wide receiver or a running back. Now, offensive linemen, these are the guys on the field helping the team to score alongside the quarterback. Well, their mental practice is a little different. Their visualization recognizes that their defensive opponents are coming after them while they're trying to score. They are coming at them full speed. So they have to visualize being in the right position to run down the field, avoiding the defensive players, and getting the football across those yards on the field and into the end zone for a touchdown. Now let's talk about running backs. These are those fast-moving players who the quarterbacks get the ball to large percentage of the time. Well, they have an important job as well, as it looks different than the other positions. So they may need to visualize having the ball in their hand and clutching that bad boy like they never want to let it go. They have to hold on to it like their life depends on it and the game depends on it because, baby, if they drop that ball, which is called a fumble, by the way, that is not a good thing. It can cost the team an entire game. So, again, with this visualization work, you must get specific about what it is you want in your dating experience. And again, yours may look very different than your sisters, your girlfriends, or even your coworkers.
The penalty on the play is going to be a false start against the Rebels. It's a 5-yard penalty, still second down.
During preseason, there are training camps, and football teams hold two-a-day practices. They're called two-a-days. Now, typically, teams will do one training session in the morning. They'll break for meetings and lunch, and then return to practice again, maybe late in the afternoon. This is primarily to get the players in shape for the season and learn new strategies. So for the next 21 days, I want you to commit to doing visualizing 7 minutes in the morning and 7 minutes in the late afternoon or evening before you go to sleep. Now, I'm sure you have heard of research as far as how it takes 21 days of doing something consistent to build up a habit, right? We've heard that from a number of different sources. I will tell you, it's true. I know from personal experience that once you start doing this mental visualizing, it won't be long before you start to see this play out in real life. I have seen it happen in my own life. I have done this work where I have visualized in the morning, also right before I'm going to bed, and it is like a magnet pull. One of the things that I recently have been visualizing in the morning and in the evening in preparation for doing this episode, but also doing this work because, honey, we all have preseasons in our life. And I've done this work. And one of the things I visualize is just being a magnet. I want it to be a magnet for men. And recently, I have had so many experiences where out of the blue, I've gone out and I've had drinks sent to me at my table. I have literally had men coming to my table, just saying that they were so captivated